Um, your favorite rapper, Sugar Free.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone who's like heard you or listened to your raps, like it's very evident that he is an influence.
Yeah. It's crazy. I was telling him, I'm like, especially being from out here, when people would hear you, they'd be like, oh, you sound like I used to take, when I was first taking label meters, they was telling me like, man, you sound like the cross between Kendrick and Schoolboy Q. And, I get it, but I always tell people like, if you really know, like
if you really know, you know what it is.
And be like, oh yeah, that's Sugar Free reincarnated.
Yeah, the first time I heard you like on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it was, I was like, yo, I hear the Sugar Free influence like heavily. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, you just posted a video of you guys in the studio together. I believe you played me a song where he's on it.
Yeah.
How big of a deal is that? Like,
bigger than signing a deal.
That's crazy, man. So it kind of give us that story.
I literally just posted the video right now. We in the studio and he telling me about how he fuck with my style. And I'm like, shit, I took your shit.
Right.
And just made it my own. Like I was literally telling him, I'm like, it's like having a Space Jam ball. Like I just went to you and I'm like, I can't take your power, but it's like I just took, your cadences.
Yeah.
And flipped it. Cause I mean, I ain't no pimp. I've never,
right
before, but I fuck with, his message being the fact that, all right, this is what I'm gonna talk about, this is what I'm gonna be on, and I don't give a fuck about nothing else but this. You know what I mean? You ain't never heard Sugar Free diss nobody. You ain't never heard him talk bad about nobody on records. He was like, I dedicated my career to this, and I fucked with that. And then just the way that he did it, it was just like,
his delivery. I feel like we don't give enough props to Sugar Free when it comes to like how unique of an artist he was.
Yeah, it's very charismatic, real conversational.
And nobody sounded like Sugar Free ever.
No.
Like if you think about like his era, there was nobody who you could be like you could box him in with.
Right. And it's so like crazy because
one of one.
You hear certain people that got the influence. Like I was in the studio with One Take Jay, and I was listening to him. I'm like, I was telling the homies, I'm like, damn, me and One Take Jay rap the same way. Like we just do it different.
Mm-hmm.
But we both took his cadences. Like when I was really listening to like a song he did, I was like, damn, he raps the same way I would, because what it is it's a swing. So we're not rapping directly on the one. You might be slightly before it or slightly after.
Right.
I was talking to Free about that. It's like certain people you hear that. So they might say, oh, you sound off beat, but it's not really, off beat. And that's like why Blast beats are so smooth, because the drums are hitting different. So if you would nod your head like this to a certain song, now you this way, because it's just a slightly different groove.
Yeah.
So I do that with the raps. But nah, like the Sugar Free shit, man, I met him a couple years ago. I had popped up at this spot he was performing at, wiggle my way backstage or whatever, and introduced myself and was just letting him know what he meant to me. I got cool with one of his artists, Pomona Dirt. Shout out Pomona Dirt. But we stayed kind of tapped in on the gram, so they were doing something else. I popped up there. Pomona Dirt took me to the little backstage area, so I got to chop it with Free again. But that was like 2018.
Right.
I hadn't physically seen him since, so it was crazy because when he got to the studio, like I got these dark ass shades on
right.
I had these shits on in the booth, and I was recording with my eyes closed. I look up, and this motherfucker then walked into the booth, and I'm like, oh shit. Nobody even told me, that he was like there at the time. So I come out there and he was like, man, I've been looking for you. I've been looking for you for like 2-3 years. I'm like, God damn, like I would never think that.
Right. So he remembered you from meeting you backstage, yeah.
But he was like, I wanted to sign you. He was like, I've been looking for you. That motherfucker told me, he said, I've been looking for you in the daytime with a flashlight, man. Am I lying, John?